chilly day. We're gonna play some music. It's a chilly day on April 8th, and we're playing some Runescape. And I was just thinking about something that I was wanting to talk about. Um, so I was thinking to myself, I was like, bro, if you think about it, if I was good at weed dealing, we would have been overly screwed, like really fucking bad. Like not even trying to be subtle with it, but it kind of worked out that I sucked at being a drug dealer, because if I was good, my boy got caught eventually later on, and that didn't work out too well for him. He got hit with a merchandising charge. So he was not really in a good place. He was, let's say this, let's go back a little bit. So I met Dan, right? And we were just friends at first. Like I was just chilling. I came over to his place and we had a good time just hanging out, right? First he was my friend's boyfriend. So she met him off of this is pretty fucking funny. She met him off of Tinder. And from there things kind of like took off. So at first it was just me and May, and we were just chilling and smoking and doing our thing, not really thinking anything too far ahead. I was going to Middlesex and she was working at this pizzeria. I was working at Costco, and we're just chilling at first. We're just like getting dubs after school. I hit her up because we were actually really good friends back in high school. We were really good friends back in high school. Like we hit it off. But then I had a girlfriend at the time, and my girlfriend thought that I was going to cheat on her with her. Like she was pissed off. She was like, bro, I don't want you hanging out with this girl. So I'm like, okay. Let me dissipate the situation, because I was really head over heels. For some reason, I was head over heels falling in love with this girl. And yeah, that was just my stomach. That was really long and loud. But I was head over heels for this girl, and we were me and May, we were really good friends. Like we just clicked. She's really good at talking, so she's really easy to talk to, and someone that's quiet, that works out very well for me. So we hit it off, and my girlfriend gets really pissed off. She's like, she doesn't really say anything to me. Like this girl does not talk to me, bro. Like we're two silent people. So when two silent people get together, let me tell you this, there is no conversations going on. Like literally, like the only way I would talk is through text. So I would text, and through text, I would say what I needed to say. Like I would convey what I needed to convey. But she wasn't a texter. Like she wouldn't really say anything through text. It was always me that's talking. So she doesn't really tell me anything about this, but she messages May, and she's threatening May over message to fight her or something like that. And I was like, oh shit. So let me just dissipate the situation. And I chose badly, guys. I chose really badly. Like, I said, okay, let me not talk to May and let me just ride it out with my girlfriend. And let me tell you this, guys, like, when it comes to that situation, girlfriends are only temporary, especially if they're jealous like that. Like, she had an ex-boyfriend that she was with before, obviously. It's her ex-boyfriend. And she would tell me about how she would annoy him and he would try to kiss her and stuff like that, but I didn't say anything about it. I was just like, okay, that's your problem. I don't really see a point of me getting into this, because if I get into it, you know how it is. It's like if it's two guys getting into it, you're both gonna just argue and there's gonna be a fight that ensues. So I'm like, I'm not gonna fight this kid. Like, I'm a grown ass man. What the fuck do I look like fighting him? Like, this is your problem. So make sure that you talk to him and tell him to stop. Like, that's what I was saying. I was like, bro, just tell him to stop, bro. Like, why are you telling me? Like, that's not my problem. But it kind of was my problem. But really, at the end of the day, no, it wasn't. It's kind of like a girl that's annoying me, and I'm like, bro, she's annoying me. She probably would have been like, all right, I'm going to take care of this, and I'm going to send her a text, and we're going to argue this out, and I'm going to get her jumped or some shit. But I wasn't like that. I was a very passive person. Later on was when it got a little more aggressive, where I was just like, you know what, fuck this guy, bro, because he's pissing me off. It's been way too long. It's been about a good 6 months to a year of this going on, about him trying to hit on Randy and shit. So then I bake brownies, and in these brownies I put shit in them. And then I was like, yo, Randy, just give these to him, and he can do whatever he wants with it. You know what I mean? Like, this is my message. Like, so passive aggressive. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to those points. But that's what I was like. I was telling him in my own way to stop. But regardless of that, like, that's how me and May met, through high school. And we were chilling after school. Like, I don't know, at one point I saw her more than I saw my girlfriend. And my girlfriend, she cheated a lot. She had her own past, and we're not going to get into that because we're talking about something else right now. We're just talking about selling weed. So me and her, we see each other more than I see my girlfriend at the time. My girlfriend is out there cheating. She's doing whatever she's doing. She's getting the bag. She's sliding it. She is cashing that check, however you want to call it. And I'm just sitting there, just hanging out with May, and we get really close. We're really good friends. And then I stopped talking to her after the whole Randy thing because I picked my girlfriend over her. So then later on, like a year or two later, I text her because I finally break up with my girlfriend. I finally break up with Randy. So I'm like, all right, it's time to get my life back together. Randy wrecked my life. So I'm just going to find my way back to being happy. And I was like, I want to be happy. I felt very depressed. And I was just like, all right, you know what? Let me reach out to May. And I reached out to May and I was like, hey, I don't regret a lot of things, but I regret not keeping you as my friend. And then she answers back. And then it just takes off from there. So we're just hanging out. She answers me. We're hanging out. We're getting dubs. We're just like chilling after work. I'm failing college, like, badly. Like, each class I take, I fail. So I'm not doing good in college. She isn't doing good in college either. So she's just working. I'm working as well. So I got a car. She doesn't have a car. She never got her license. Still to this day, she doesn't have her license, but whatever. That's another story. um, so still to this day, she doesn't have her license, but I was the one that was driving us around. So we're getting dubs and shit. And then one day she like kind of disappears, but she always stays in contact through text. So we're texting her. We're like, yo, what you doing? And then all of a sudden she's like, I have a boyfriend. And we're just like, okay. That's fine, I guess. I don't know where you got this from. Like, I don't know how you just popped out a boyfriend out of nowhere, but okay. But we were like, when I focus, I really just focus. Like, I don't really do anything else. Like, if I'm looking for a girlfriend, okay, I'm looking for a girlfriend. If I'm with a girl, I focus on that girl and I kind of like push away my friends. So I hated doing that, but that's the type of person that I am. Heads up to other guys out there. Try not to do that. Try to include your friends in everything that you do and try not to push them away because they are your greatest assets, your friends. May is really good at juggling that. So she's like, I'm with my boyfriend. I found a boyfriend, and we're like, all right, cool. It was me, Carol, and her that was hanging out. Carol was a really chill girl. Right now, she actually has a baby. So congratulations to her. In my way, I don't really say congrats. I don't want kids. Let's put that out there. I do not want children. Children is not something that I want in life. Because I just learned that children is not for me. And I haven't found one person that agrees with me on that mindset. Like every time I tell my friends, they're like, bro, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong with me? Why do you want children? Like, tell me why you want children, because it doesn't really make sense to me. You really want that responsibility and you want to essentially lie to a person their whole life. You're telling them that they're going to be happy and that they're going to find their own way in life and there's going to be no bumps on the road. Like, that's a fucking lie. When you bring a kid into this world, bro, there is so much shit that they're going to run into, and they might never know happiness. They might find it for a year. They might be happy for a year. And then after that year, their life can be shit. You know, they can get into an accident. They can fall in love. They can hate their job. They can find a job that they love. There is so many different possibilities out there that can and cannot happen. But most likely, you are not going to be able to find what you're looking for in this world. Like, what they say is that this world is overrated. It really is. Like, people are giving this rating an A plus. And I'm sitting here like, bro, it's at best a C. Like, at best, it's a C. Like, it's not that great, bro. So anyway, congrats to her, regardless. That's my friend. She was, when she was with us, it was really chill. She had her own boyfriend. She was going through her own problems. I wish I asked more, but a lot of people don't open up. Like, I'm telling you, when you come in this world, don't expect too much. It's very overrated. A lot of things that happen by chance, and maybe not even by chance. Like, I'm a real big believer on life happening, that it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't anything like that. Like, there was a purpose behind every single little thing. So unless it's for you, it won't be for you. Like, unless it's for you, then it's for you. But if it's not, it can really become a hassle. It can be really hard to live by. And just be truthful when you bring a child into this world. Just be like, hey, listen, you might not get everything that you want, but we'll hold you down. Like, somebody will hold you down. It will either be your family, your friends, or it'll be jail. It'll be one of those. Something will hold you down because you don't get everything that you want out of life. Like, not everything is 100%, bro. Not everything is gold. Not everything is silver. Not everything is bronze. Bro, you can get straight crap. But I guess that's why they don't want me around their kids, right? You know what I mean? But so May finds her boyfriend, and we're all like, all right, that's chill, that's cool. And then she's like, come meet him, right? We're like, all right, we're gonna go meet this dude. Lo and behold, it's this. We're like 18. We're like 18, 19, and he's like 24, 23, 24 years old. So we go and meet this man, and I'm just like blown the fuck away. Cause what he brings to the table is like really cool and chill, and you wouldn't expect this from any other place. Like, you don't expect this specific image from life, and he gives you this image. You know, it's like meeting a rock star, and not as a fan, but as a friend. You know, you go in there and then you're like, hey, what's up? You don't even know this dude is a rock star, but like everything around him screams rock star. You know what I mean? Like, you go to his place of dwelling and it's an apartment, and you're just like, all right, this is cool. This is cool. But as a 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old, seeing an apartment owned by somebody that is 24 really turns your life around, because at 18 years old, you can have your own apartment. So it was definitely at 18. I met him at 18. So at 18 years old, you can have your own apartment. It's very possible. Like, a lot of parents don't push their kids into getting their own apartment at 18 years old. And I think that's a big, big mistake. Like, what the world pushes on kids is like, once you turn 18, all right, when you turn 18 years old, you can go to school. And when you go to school, you can dorm there. And when you dorm there, you basically have your own apartment. And that's the most expensive way to do it. So it just seems very much impossible. It's like, it doesn't seem realistic whatsoever, because you have to be good at school in order to go into the dorms. You can get into good colleges. Like, for example, I was able to get into Kane University and Middlesex County College. So I could have gone to Kane University and went into the dorms. That's with my grades. My grades were not great. Like, I was a A and B student, but that was in high school. You know what I mean? Like, ask anybody. When you're in high school and college, it's two different worlds, bro. One is chill and relaxed. The other one is competitive and impossibly hard. So it's very possible to get into a dorm room, but can you keep it is the question. I was on academic probation at Middlesex County College the first year I got into it. You know, I took a class I took a class in what's it called in high school, and it was a college course class. I got like a C or a B in it. So I was already struggling. It was a college course class that you can take in high school. I I did it, got a B or a C, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm good to go. I get into college. I start off summertime. I got a B in English, and I was like, all right, I'm really, really good to go. I get into college and I try 4 classes at a time, and I failed all 4 classes. Like, I was, it was like a train that came out of nowhere that hit me, bro. Like, I wasn't even ready for it. Like, it was like, God damn, this shit is fucking difficult, bro. This shit is difficult as hell. Like, what the hell am I doing? So I'm like, whatever, fuck it. You know what? This is not really for me. So that's when I eventually met May again. I tried to bring in Randy into college and it wasn't working out, and I was just so distraught, and I got with my next girlfriend, Katlynn, and she was a really chill girl. I was in class in my philosophy class. I'm never gonna forget this, but like, she was all over me, all over me. She was showing me love that Randy hasn't shown me for years, and I was just like, "You got my heart." You know what I mean? And I was just like, "All right, you know what? You got me." And even in class, like, these people, the students would be like, "Yo, why are you bothering Abram?" And she's like, "I'm not bothering him." But she was a year older than me, and we were both in Middlesex, and she was mad chill. She showed me love that I haven't seen in years, and we start going out. We go out for about like 3 months, and then I couldn't do it anymore. She wasn't my type. There was other problems too, but the biggest problem was Randy. Like, I cheated on her with Randy for a good month into our relationship. And I didn't feel like she was the right one. Like, it was really, really hard for me to stay with her. There was also other problems underneath everything too. Like, it wasn't just her not being able to fit the bill, but I had mental problems. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to, come up with everything that needed to be brought up to in a relationship. But the other problem was that I didn't really like her. Like, I didn't like her physically. And you know how that is a big, big thing. Very big thing. Like, you need to be able to physically be attracted to the one that you're with. If you are not, it is not going to work out. There is going to be problems that are going to be seen. So that was the big thing. And then after that, that's when I met with May. May is a chill girl. Like, she's really nice, and we click very well. Like, for some reason, we are two peas in a pod when we hang out, when we talk to each other. Like, she's really chill, and I really understand her dynamic. She understands my dynamic, and it just works out very well. So like I said, we start hanging out. And then she meets up with Dan. She tells us to meet Dan. And we're like, all right, let's meet with Dan. And he has this apartment. And the apartment is mad chill. And he has something else. He has a bunch of weed. And I'm really interested in weed. So I'm like, all right, cool. This is lit. This is really lit. And he's also really cool and chill with me too. So it wasn't like he was a dickhead to me or anything. He was genuinely like, yo, let's be friends. Even though I was his girlfriend's friend, guy friend, not just any friend, but a guy friend. Like, I don't know how you can deal with that, because I tried to deal with that in high school and it didn't work out too well. I ended up feeding him shit. Like, but that's how I met Dan. So Dan has this apartment and he has this car. He has a Volvo C360, I think it was called. It was a legit nice ass car. Like, I'm telling you, it's like meeting a rock star. And then you're just brought into this world where he's like, hey, yeah, this is my world. You can join it. So I'm just like, yeah, I want to join. Like, this is awesome. You're bringing me into this cool world that I think would have never existed. Like, I've never thought of this dream. I've never thought of having my own apartment. I never thought of selling weed. I never thought of getting a car that's my own. I never thought of having enough money to be able to do these things. So I'm like, I'm all in, right? So then I start selling weed, bro. Debacle. Fucking debacle. Here we go. This is the main part of the story. So I was okay. Honestly, I was terrible. To tell you the truth, I was terrible at selling. And it worked in my favor, I would think, because this is back in 2016. So weed wasn't legalized in New Jersey till like 2021. And this is like 2016. So it was completely illegal, but I wanted to sell. Like, it was in my heart. I was like, bro, this is what I want to do. This is something that I want to do. And I'm going to do it. So I started doing it. And I was just selling weed. First out of my parents' house. And then out of my girlfriend's house. And then out of my own apartment. And when I sold it out of my own apartment, that's when everything was lit. Because at my parents' house, they would always find it and then they would throw it away. Right? When I sold it from my girlfriend's house, I was actually making money. Like, dude, I was making money. But I was just flipping it at the time, because it was my girlfriend and her sister's friend. So Randy, Emily, is it Emily? No, Randy, Nicole, and Emily. Yeah. And Emily. Nicole and Emily were just selling their life away. They were just having fun, but they were also smoking it as well. So I let them smoke as much as they wanted to, as long as they sold whatever they had to sell at the time, right? So I'm like, all right, this is cool. All I was doing was flipping. I was only flipping. I was just making enough money to buy the next one. And I was working as well. So that's how I was making ends meet. So I was putting money in, I'm flipping it. I'm like $40 or $50 short from the quarter pound that I was selling. And then I just put in the $40 or $50 and then we buy some more. But I always had like extra left over, you know what I mean? So like I was making a little bit of profit, not that much, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure Nicole and Emily, they were smoking a lot of it and they weren't really paying attention to how much they were smoking, but I didn't care. It wasn't something that I was really looking forward to. Like, I was just like, I just want my own pack of weed that I can smoke whenever I wanted to. So I never went into it with the intent of selling. It was more the intent of, I just want weed whenever I want it. Like, I don't want to have to go to the drug dealer to buy an eighth. Like, I just want to go to my stash, grab an eighth as many times as I need to, as many times as I want to. And I'll be good like that. But you got to remember, I have an illness. So it wasn't working out. Like, I was smoking more. Like, yes, my idea was working. Like, I got as much as I wanted to. But I was sick. So then when I started selling at my house, this is the last step of the process. I started selling a lot more. So, like, the police was right on our heels and we had no backup plan. They were trying to get to Greg, the bigger fish, but ended up going after us. And in my delusional state, I saw them coming and I did nothing, and they did nothing to adjust. Like, Dan didn't do anything to adjust. So me sucking at my job was the best thing I could do. I would have been selling pounds, at the very least 4 to 5 pounds. Like, I would have been selling a lot, bro. Like, the potential that I had was going to be a lot, but I sucked at it. Like, I don't understand how you can suck at dealing weed, but it's possible, bro. Like, it's very possible. And I see everybody doing the wrong things. Like, I was given an opportunity that was way out of this world. Like, Dan was like, all right, bro, I'll help you out. Let me forward you this pound. Work it the way that you need to work it, and I'll keep supplying you. You just get as much money as you can, and that's how it'll work. So I forgot what it's fronting. It's called fronting. It's like, I'm gonna front you this pound, and when you front a pound, that means that you don't have the money. You don't have the money, but you're gonna pay them back, and they're going to keep fronting it to you. So they're going to give you an advance. So it's like they're giving you a credit card loan, and you're just using it. So that's basically what I was doing. So there was David, who wanted 2 or 3 pounds to start with. So this is where I'm getting the 4 to 5 pounds that I would have been selling if I knew what I was doing, if I knew how to work the whole thing. And there is a way to work it. Like, I'm going to eventually get to that point. But let's stay on track here. So David wanted to like 2 or 3 pounds to start with. He came in at a point late into the game. This was already when I was having my psychotic break. And he was sitting there in the room with me. He was throwing me numbers. He was like, yo, I got like 10K. What can you give me? 10K is a lot more than 2 or 3 pounds. Like, I'm just saying 2 or 3 pounds just to give you a roundabout number. But maybe I forgot exactly how much. If I could remember, if I could get him in this room today and ask him, be like, yo, how much did you offer to buy from me? When I asked you to come over and when I was trying to sell to you, because everybody was trying to sell to me. And I was like, no, I got my plug, dude. Like, I'm good. What about you? I don't think you're good because you don't have this good of weed as I have. And lo and behold, I had the best weed on the block, bro. Like, I know a lot of people would say that they have the best stuff, but I had the best, literally the best. And the flower got even better. Like, I wasn't even at the best yet. Like, it was just, there's A grade, there's double A grade, and there's triple A grade. Bro, I was only on A grade, and my shit was already blowing everybody else out of the fucking water. And I forgot to add Cliff to the freaking list. So, all right, here we go. David, who wanted 2 or 3 pounds to start off with, He was throwing around numbers. He was like, yo, bro, I got like two to 4K. What can you do for me? And I was like, all right, bro, I'm trying to figure this out. I couldn't do it because my mind wasn't there. I could not get the deal. And all I had to do, Dan was like, yo, bro, just bring it to me and I'll get the deal and then you'll get the cut. And I was like, I wasn't in my right mind, but thank God I wasn't, because like I said, Dan got busted like 6 months, like less than 6 months after that. So I would have brought him this deal. This would have got him 2 or 3 more pounds. He would have had way more money and would have gotten in trouble. Then there was Marco, who wanted a quarter pound and he was looking for more. And he was like, yo, bro, I was selling it to him for $850. And he was like, bro, this is too expensive. And I was like, what do you mean it's too expensive? That's how much I pay for it, basically, because I paid $800 for a quarter pound. And I was giving it to him for $850. So, but I was buying pounds at the time, meaning that I could have given it to him for a much lower price, but I wasn't doing it because I was so fucked up. And I was like, no, bro, I'm giving you the best price that I can give you. It's $850. And he's like, all right, bro. But I could have given it to him for easily $600. Easily, bro. And then there was Chuck, who was asking for a pound. And then later on, he started selling wax too. So I'm sure that the pound was a base thing. It would have been way more than that. Like, we're talking about 2-3 pounds right there. And then Matt wanted to buy half pounds. And I felt so bad for Matt because I wasn't really thinking, and I sold half a pound for a full pound. I'm telling you, when I tell you I sucked at selling weed, I really did suck. Like, I would have been selling way more. Like, I just ran down these numbers and we're talking about like 2 to 3. So 3 plus a quarter pound plus a pound plus half a pound. That's already 5. Wait, let me see. Half, quarter. We're going to do the half and a quarter. We're going to make that into 1. So 3, 4, 5. We're already at 5 pounds and I'm not even done with the list. And then Henry was buying up to a quarter pound every 2 weeks. So this was when I started getting real paranoid. And I was just like, holy shit, how am I doing? I started hearing voices, bro. I was like, holy shit, what am I getting into? You know what I mean? And I was starting to hear voices and I'm just like, bro, how much do you need? Like, this is how this was working out for me. I was like, bro, how much do you need? And he's like, bro, I need 2 ounces. And can I get some edibles too? Like, we're about to go to a rave, so I want to be ready. And I'm like, all right, dude, all right. So money is coming in and I'm selling from my pound. And I'm making money, bro. I'm making a lot of money. Not as much as I should have been making, but I was making a decent amount. I was able to pay back what I was being given. And I was able to pay for my apartment, pay for a new apartment. But I was still very far behind. Like, I'm telling you, it sounds great. But if you look at the numbers and you look at the real facts, like, it wasn't that great. Like, I was living, when they say paycheck to paycheck, bro, I didn't understand that until I started selling weed. Like, I was living literally $20 to $20, bro. Like, I wasn't eating anything. I lost so much weight. It was fucking crazy. But Henry was a real estate agent and he lived in Highland Park with his parents. He was a gay Jewish man. And the people that you meet selling weed is amazing. Yeah, the people that you meet doing drugs is fun. But when you sell to them, the relationship is completely different and much more interesting. Like, Henry was a real interesting dude. Like, he went to raves all the time. And at those raves, he would do a bunch of drugs. Like, he would do Molly and all that stuff. And acid. He would do Molly, acid, weed, DMT. Like, this dude was a drug head. And he was gay, which was pretty interesting because you'd never think that you would meet a gay Jewish man. He was gay and he was Jewish. Very interesting combo. You would never think that you would meet this guy. But there, lo and behold, there he was. I met him through Adam. Adam is doing good for himself. But yeah, the relationships that you make while selling weed is crazy. Like, you don't know who you're going to meet. And those relationships will last as long as you're in the right state of mind. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't in the right state of mind, so everything crashed. It was like the stock market that crashed, just like what Trump is doing right now. That's essentially what happened. And like, selling weed teaches you so much about business. It teaches you so that you understand the ways that these things work. And like, crashing the market is not something that's good. It's really not something that's good. It means that somebody wasn't doing the math. Somebody wasn't crunching the numbers correctly. Something was done too fast. It really gives you perspectives about things. But yeah, like, you were lucky. Dan was lucky that I sucked at selling weed, because if I was good, if I was half as good as him, I would have been in jail, bro. I would have been in jail. I would have been in jail. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I would have been in jail because Dan went to jail and it didn't work out too good for him. But yeah. I was supposed to play this game, but I'm not really good at doing and talking at the same time. So yeah.